I'm speaking about the Behemoths. The Behemoths were they created the beasts, and just like previous video, their creation is not material based. Like having a child, creating a child, it would be creation of the sense of they molded them, or that's the original concept. Because the original concept of the Behemoth was to eat away from the dying plants, and thus he chose to multiply, have a lot of different versions of him. And the Behemoth was so plentiful, like his fur not only having a unicorn horn, his fur would just have all these different things on it. The Titans. The Titans were. Does that make sense? No, the Behemoth made the Titans, and his offspring were the Beast. Yeah. The Titans made the Giants, and then when they multiplied with the Giants. So wait, does that mean that when the Behemoth and the Titans do it, they make Beast? That's an image. I think I'm gonna go with that logic. The Behemoths make the Beast. Like, they form the Beast, create it, and when the Behemoths when the Behemoth and the Beast mate, their offspring are when the Behemoth and the Titans consummate it, then you have the Giants are the Beast. Man, I'm getting confused with this. Okay. So when the Behemoth molded or created the Titans, when the Titans and the Behemoth procreate, their offspring are the beast of the land. So like sheep, cattle, birds, pretty much everything. All their purpose is just to eat, multiply, then die. So the same process of a tree. And then the prey or fighting the beast adds the checks and balances. Or the prey was created by chaos to mess up, or because the predators technically did have their way. Oh, crud, that's a really good point. So beasts, all that beasts do is eat the grass. That's all they're doing. They're doing the cycle. Never ending cycle of eventually they'll eat enough grass to multiply and then they die, which will eventually get to a point where there's too much order. But then it balances itself out to the capacity. So I guess there was probably a finite world. Either way. So chaotic would be if trees did not do their cycle. What if there was a disease amongst them? What if disease somehow in the cycle of the plants? Cycle of plants. I forgot to press start. How long have I been talking? Probably not gonna get all. I won't be sad on this. The Behemoths. So the beast would have also been fine if there was no predators, if they had their way, there would be no beast, and therefore they would predator their own selves. It's a thing that it's like trying to be the king of a hill, where in order to be on top of the hill, you have to take from the hill. So if you do get to the top of the hill, you may not be as high as originally you saw. Could just be lower, actually. It's a chaotic. It doesn't have a good end. Where if it was just plants and beasts, like if all there was grass and a sheep, what's the issue? The grass grows, it multiplies, and then dies. The beast grows, it multiplies, then dies. It's a renewing process, one that only creates more and more things as it continues. Chaos doesn't want more order, so it responds with something that has to have a finite to it, but also introducing infinity. Because order was still doing infinity at that point, so chaos had to add finite to it. But chaos is also infinite. Infinity isn't bad. It's just merely how it's used, the action. Just now realize how crazy I must sound. The theory scares me on a personal level. I know I'm going a little too complex on this concept I can really just make a joke out of. I want there to be meaning. So this concept of infinity, is it chaotic or is it order? Is it definable? Is it undefinable? We should be in the pursuit of infinity to expand order. Order supports us. We are taking out the things that are chaotic. The idea that there is space, there is only one Earth. It shows a chaotic world, a world where we have to have finite in it. We are currently getting to the end of our population count for Earth. I don't mean like literally, I don't know enough. This is merely me talking metaphorically. I do not know enough about science to understand whether or not we, as human beings, are at the limit of Earth's opacacy, whatever. But it's interesting because science develops things to end this. This is all to better strengthen the original theory, the better story arc of these three children. Because if I keep true to the idea that order and chaos are playing a game, we're trying to understand their moves as the sentient life upon this planet. It's to give the players a reason to play, the sense of there is something out there, there has to be an answer to this world. At least that's how I would play the game. That's the way I play it right. I gotta make a world so developed that someone can do what they think is right. I have to be able to define any questions and the way things are. It shouldn't be up to subjective, it should be fact at this point. So I'm trying to understand the true story, what actually happened, and then I can make myth based off of it. Trying to figure out the objective truth. And that goes back to why are we for order, or are we for order? I guess as humans, we're not the byproducts of order or chaos. We're not a offspring or an either or. They created both of us by their decisions. They didn't create us directly. They merely by product created us. So as humans in this world, should I be for order or should I be for chaos? The Behemoths made the giants, and their society is built on neutrality. The Titans merely want to gain the resources from the beast. The Titans were the original strippers of animals. They let beasts grain be beast and protect them from the predators, while they themselves reap the rewards. They get that amazing amount of material, and material unbeknownst to our day and age. This would have been like fur of gold, fur of diamonds. The byproducts of the original beast would have been so rich. I don't mean like literal iron, it produces iron, but fibers so strong they resemble iron. Fibers of the sheep that glow in the dark. Like, it would have been an amazing sight to see all these original beasts, the first of their kinds, that we only see the dilution of. The beasts we see now are phenomenal in their own right. However, the beasts of their day, outstanding. This is going off the idea of like everything was pure when it was made, and now we're seeing that dilution's not based, which is almost a reverse of evolution, where we are the best we can be, contrary to what evolution says. I'm saying time equals dilution, which, because this is a creation-based world, it's not an argument of, is there a God? There's a God. Unlike our world. I'm talking about me, Jason, and you, the audience world, where our world, we don't know for certainty if there's a God, if we came from evolution. There's no absolute proof yet, or will we ever find absolute truth? It brings up those questions. But in this world, in my D&D world, there is obviously an answer. It's just trying to find the depth of that answer. Why were we created? Who should we fight for? Chaos or order? That world has more conflict in it, opposite to our world. And I wonder if it's just due to that one change. That's semantics, or going into a different thing. But the Behemoths, their giant society is just herders. A lot of people are preparing for war because they don't like their land, or they want to explore the world. The Titans are so large that if they were to try to eat from a tree, trees would go extinct. They have to eat from the animals that they produce. So it would be a meat society. Well, that's interesting. These animals would also be so large to feed the Titans and the giants. Because eventually these beasts grow smaller because there's no need for such largities. Okay. But that's it for the Behemoth.